Hey guys, Jeff Howard here at FixMyKite.com and Kiteboarding.com. We've got a lot of people asking us how to install the bladder into a Flux or an Ozone, or because they're a little bit different at the end. So let me show you this. This is the Flux, and when you put the strut into a Flux, it has a zipper in the front. So a lot of them do not have a zipper up here, but the Flux does. So you undo this zipper, and inside the bladder, obviously the valve is going to fit on that side. But at each of these front ends up in here, there's a little Velcro thing up inside. So each end of the bladder on the nose and the tail. So once you slide the bladder into it, you line up the valve, and then each of these ends you fill up in here, and they Velcro up in the ends. That's to keep that bladder from falling down inside of there. So once that's put in, and then it's closed back up, you close your zipper, it's up underneath here, you get it tucked under. So that's put in. Now, down at the end, they also do it a little bit differently than some of the other ones. Some of the other kites, what they do, or wings, is the end flips out like this. You line your bladder up with the end, and you fold it in Velcro. Well, they're different. So what they have inside of here is this little sock, and it's a tube of material here, and I'm gonna start opening this up, and when I flip this, you can see that there's the Velcro, and it just slides up inside of here and Velcros like that. But once I pull that out, there's an opening up in here, and you want to reverse and flip that inside out. Now that that's flipped inside out, at the end of the bladder, there are 3 little tabs that are on the bladder, and you want to line those up with each other, just kind of accordion it, and then put it over this little Velcro inside, like that. Close that over, and then you want to take your bladder and keep it right there with your thumbs as you turn this in back right side out to keep that bladder at the end. So you can see my thumbs up inside of there, and it's holding, getting that bladder in there. Hang on to that bladder. Now slowly slide this up and line that Velcro with the inside one. You want to make sure that they match. So the end of the hook and then the end of the loop all line up perfectly. And when that happens, then you shake it a little bit and it goes up in there. When you inflate, you want to check that, but normally that's why the reason is to hold that bladder from falling back in there when it's not inflated. Take the little Velcro at the end, again, match it, make sure it's completely covered, and that's to keep that strut rounded. Anyway, that's how you install the end of the Ozone, and there are a few other kite brands out there that do that, but very few. Most of them are fold over, but they have to have an attachment. The whole goal of this is keeping attachment to each end of the strut and the leading edge so that these bladders do not fall back in when they're not inflated. You don't want them to fall in. If they fall back in there and there's nothing down there retaining it, you will get a flip over and you will get a bulge and you'll get a blow out of the bladder. Anyway, that's how to install it. If you have an end like that, like the Ozone one or the Flux or the Strut, that's how you put it back in there. Anyway, it's Jeff Howard here at FixMyKite.com and Kiteboarding.com to keep these kites in your hands and keep you riding.